Hello there, welcome back to Jennie Designs with Paper and my 2023 Christmas card series, where I make my Christmas cards and bring you along for the ride. So get comfy and let's get crafty. I am doing another whole bunch of cards, one pad of paper. This is the Recollections Holiday Chic, and it's a 12 by 12 inch pad, which is awesome. That means there's tons of availability. It also means that not every pattern is card friendly. We're going to do a quick flip through here while I talk about this paper pad. There were 3 different sheets of cut aparts. I did not use every cut apart. I ended up with 13 cards. There was also one sheet of stripes that had sentiments and words and things like that I could use for sentiments. And each pattern has 2 pages. So there's like 48, I think it's 48 sheets of pattern paper in here. And all of the cut aparts are varying sizes. I have some 6x6 paper pads, 6x6 cards, some mini slimline cards. I have a slimline card, and then some A2 size cards. Outside of the green panel insert on my 6x6 cards and a couple of pieces of red scrap cardstock that I used to back sentiments, everything else I used to make these cards was from this paper pad. And if you didn't want to put the insert in the 6x6 card or back the sentiment with red cardstock, you totally don't have to do that. You can still make every single one of these cards with this pattern paper. And because this video is very repetitive, we are going to talk about Christmas traditions instead of exactly what I'm doing in this card or with these cards. I will say that the only paper I had big enough to make a 6x6 card was a really lightweight cardstock, which is why I put the 2 panels of cardstock on the inside as well as the front, kind of made it a little sturdier. So while the cards are coming together, let's talk about Christmas traditions. Obviously, one of my Christmas traditions is making Christmas cards. I make Christmas cards. I make a couple of Hanukkah cards every year. I make birthday cards. I send a ton of cards. I will be honest and say that sometimes my Christmas cards end up being the State of Our Family Union address cards because they don't go out until January. And that is because I get so caught up in the making of the cards, I forget to mail them out. Another tradition, holiday tradition in our house is music. Of my 7 children, all 7 of them took piano lessons. 6 of the 7 also took band or orchestra in middle school and high school. My youngest has decided he is not about that. He does not want to be an orky dork or a band geek. He just wants to be a Rubik's Cube genius, which he low-key kind of is. Christmas music in our house is huge. My husband and my children are heavily involved in the choir production at church for Christmas time. I participate in the choir by being the audience. That is my comfort zone. That's where I will stay. We listen to Christmas music from the day after Thanksgiving until January 1st. That is about the only kind of music that is on in the car, in the house. We love all the Christmas musics. We like the traditional, we like the religious, except for last Christmas I gave you my heart. Not a Christmas song. It's an I Got to Dumped song, and it happened to coincide with Christmas. Don't like that. Also, favorite things from The Sound of Music, not a Christmas song just because it says brown paper packages. Rant over. Another Christmas tradition in our home is baking. There were years that I made, there was one year specific that I made 20 boxes of cookies, and each box of cookies had a dozen cookies in it. That took, oh my Lanta, that took 2 days of baking and almost an entire day of assembling the boxes. I don't do that much baking anymore at Christmas time. I find that more and more people are trying to focus on healthy eating. And also, I'm tired, and that's a lot of baking. So we will bake. We in our house have a fabulous chocolate chip cookie recipe. We're kind of known for this chocolate chip cookie recipe. in our social circles. So we will make a few batches of the cookie dough and freeze it. And then if we are going to a party or an event, we will bake up some cookies to take with us. We do make a few little boxes of cookies to hand out to people that we know are not trying to avoid eating that. We have a couple of neighbors that are diabetic and, stuff like that. So we try to be very cognizant. So we bake less now than we used to. That being said, I still love the smell of Christmas tree and chocolate chip cookies. It is like the best combination in the world. Holiday parties. This is one of those traditions that is a thumbs up and a thumbs down for me. I tend to socially be a little more introverted than extroverted, and I married a complete and total extrovert. I have a good time when we get someplace, but the idea of going someplace is overwhelming for me. So there are a few holiday parties that we regularly participate in. And there are a lot of holiday parties I send my husband to by himself. Like, two of my daughters work at the same place and they always have a holiday party. Actually, three of my daughters have worked there. There's a regular holiday party and it is a family event. And I usually send my husband and the children and I stay home because, well, I need that. Pajamas. That's another tradition. Now, okay, my oldest child is in her mid-20s. And my older 2 or 3 or even 4 children have a very specific recollection of me saying family pajamas were stupid. I don't actually remember saying that. And even though they always usually got pajamas at Christmas, we never did like the matching ones originally. And somewhere along the lines, I started doing matching pajamas. I think it was about the same time my kids started graduating and moving away from home. I wanted to create that family unity kind of thing still. So we do have Christmas pajamas now, and they are matching. And my older children give me the most grief in the world because I'm doing the thing I said I was never going to do. And I look at my children and I say, I'm the mom. I'm allowed to change my mind. Christmas in our house is one of my favorite things. At some time during the day, I will have all of my children at home every Christmas. They may not be here the entire day. I may have to share them with partners or other families. But even my daughter who lives not in our state will be home for Christmas. And I love it. That being said, we wear our pajamas all day. My husband will actually go shower and put his pajamas back on just to appease me because Christmas is a family day. We have a prime rib dinner in our pajamas. We all bundle into the car and go looking at all the Christmas lights in our pajamas. We spend all of Christmas Day in our pajamas, and it is the best because I have my kids, all of my kids and their partners in my house together at some point in time, and I absolutely love it. So while we might have a big fancy dinner on big fancy plates with a big fancy tablecloth, we're in our PJs. And our table conversation is still just as unfancy. I mean, I have 7 children and the younger 2 are boys. So I'll leave that with you right there. If you've ever had dinner with teenage boys, you know. Christmas lights. That is another tradition in our house. My husband loves Christmas decorations. And I am grateful that his mom kind of precipitated that in him. My mother-in-law also loves Christmas decorations. And my husband was the one who helped her do that when he was a teenager. We have a full-on, now we don't have the crazy house in the neighborhood. We have a nativity scene in our front yard. We have a Santa sleigh and reindeer that move in our front yard. We have our walkway lit with lights and our front roof, just the eaves lit up. Our house is too tall and too steep of a roof to put too many lights up there. like we would want to do if we could. We do go a little bit crazy with Christmas lights. We also love going looking at Christmas lights. We live in a part of Virginia that is not too far away from Busch Gardens, and there is there's fairgrounds over by Busch Gardens, and every year they have a drive-through Christmas light show that is phenomenal. You turn your radio on, and the music dances to the beat of the lights, or the lights flash to the beat of the music, I guess. Awesome. We started doing that 2 or 3 years ago, and that has now become a tradition. Our favorite thing to do on Christmas Day in our pajamas, after we've eaten our big fancy dinner in our pajamas, is to pile in the car and go look at the lights around town, including some of those really extraordinary houses. There are a couple of houses that we have stumbled on in the time that we have lived here that every year there is more on their lawn. And some of those houses have great themes, and some of them just look like the Christmas section gave birth on their front lawn. And we love all of them. We don't care if you have one strand of lights. We don't care if you have 16,423 million blow-ups in your front yard. We're going to drive by. We're going to go slow, and we are going to love every bit of it. We have to make sure that our car's not too hot, because, that many people in one car tends to get a little warm, and then people get nauseous because they're sitting in the back and they're bored and they're teenagers. But the one year we didn't go, every one of my kids, even the ones that get bored in the car, asked why we didn't go. And I said, because your mama's sick. That's why we didn't go. I was sick one year. We did not go. But Christmas lights are another one of our favorite traditions. Christmas shopping. We have for many, many years taken our kids to the store with the person with the name of the person they're shopping for, and divided and conquered. It was my husband with one group and me with the other group, and we all go shopping and try not to run into each other at the store. And that is my kids' favorite. They still love to do that, even though they don't necessarily have to stand right with Dad and I, because they all have phones and they're a little bit bigger and they can handle they know what to do if there's stranger danger. But those are a few of my favorite Christmas traditions. I would love if down in the comments you added one of yours. I would love to hear one of your favorite Christmas or holiday traditions. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Remember to comment down below. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Click on one of those other videos that you haven't seen. And have a really fabulous day.